What is going on? Y'all already know who it is. It's your boy Morbius. It's Tuesday, so y'all know what that means. Another episode of Comic Relief. I'm excited about this episode because last week I had to take off. I'll explain a little later why. But this week, today's guest, I'm ready to get it in, man. I hope you are. Let's get it. What is going on,
brother? What up?
What up, man? How you been, man?
What's the word? Good, man.
Chilling, bro. Chilling, hanging in here, man. You already know. Last week, for those who don't know, had to take it off. If anybody that got kids know, man, when your kids get sick, it's a given, man.
Bring that shit home.
You're gonna bring it. Yeah, they're gonna bring it home, bring it to you, and then you're gonna take it to everybody at work. That's just that's just the way it happens, man. So I was a little, under the weather, so I had to take the time off, heal. But we back with a great topic. I'm excited. Got great people here hanging out. We got a great guest today. Of course, y'all already know him. Y'all don't know him on IG, where y'all pick up some of these great books. And if y'all don't know him from Whatnot, doing his thing on there, then y'all need to slap yourself 30 times with the nearest comic book next to you, man, because we got the homeboy everybody loves. And everybody loves to hate as well. Y'all already know. Theo, what's good, my brother?
How are you, sir?
Salute, my brother.
Up, brother?
Appreciate you coming in, man.
What's going on, Rage?
Hopefully we could get some more people up in here because, like I said, here on the show, I'm not afraid to put the chat in the link in the chat. Get some more people on here. Share your thoughts. Let us know what you think, whether you agree or disagree. Doesn't matter. It's all about the discussion, man. So I'm excited. And speaking of the chat, why don't we just go to the chat, say what's up? We got 10 people hanging out with us already. I see we got a few people hanging out in the chat. So let's just say what's up to the Comic Relief family up in here. And of course, as usual, always coming through, Unruly Simeon. What's going on, brother? Appreciate you. He's here every week, man, hanging out with us. So salute to you, my brother. And of course, Big Daddy John, what's going on? Always dropping that on IG. And of course, we got another regular up in here, Uncanny Swag. What's going on, brother? Appreciate you hanging out with us. And of course, we got another Comic Relief aficionado, Moonlit Comic, better known as Michelle. What's going on, homie?
Michelle.
Stopping by. I know she got her show coming up too. So I know she's definitely stretching it right now. And shout out to, of course, another horseman himself, Scheme Riches. What's good, my brother? Scheme, you already know.
I got you, brother.
Scheme, I sent you the link, so you're more than welcome to just hop on whenever you want, man. If you want to hang out, you know what I mean? That's not a problem, brother. So, I mean, as of right now, we seem to get caught up. I know a lot of more people are rolling in. We got 12 people hanging out. Shout out to everybody in the back hanging out with us. And yeah, man, and before we even get started, I just want to do a quick cheers. Of course, I already see the brother sipping. So salute to everybody. Cheers to everybody.
Gentlemen.
Of course, y'all know your boy always sipping on that Henny, Paul on that Stella, and Rage. What you got there again? Remind me. We got that Roni.
Corona.
Corona. Of course.
It was a warmer day in NorCal. You already know.
Oh, of course. Oh, yeah. Hold on a second. We got the other homie, the big homie. What up, Justin? Salute to you.
What's going on, brother?
Originator over here. And we got another homie coming in, Big Soul. What's going on, brother? Salute to you.
Oh, what's up, brother?
It's a pleasure to build with these brothers, man. And let me get this chat real quick. Hold on one second. Let me copy board this. Get this link going real quick because I really want to get people's opinion on this, man. Because I mean, the topic today, for those who didn't see the heading or see the post, we're going to be talking about last price sold. Now, last price sold is basically, it's happened to me, where I've spoken to someone and then they go and check the last price that was sold, and then that's what they want to charge me. So we're going to be talking about that, and we want to get your opinion as well. Whether is it a good one or a bad one, whether you feel good about it or don't feel good about it or whatever it is. We just want to make sure that you give your opinion and how you feel about it, and we'll talk about it, whether we agree with you or not, or whether you agree with us or not. Doesn't fucking matter. You know what I mean? The whole point is that we have this discussion because it needs to be had. And of course, if we're going to talk about, selling, I figured, of course, I got to have one of the top dogs that's doing their thing right now, holding it down. You know what I'm saying? Big Rage
A big
Theo,
dog.
you
Hey,
know,
we're
so it's a big
trying, bro.
dog,
I'm trying.
you know, that came from nothing and turned it into something, because I saw him from day one, you know what I mean, turning it
Just
up.
one short box. You never know what you can do.
Right. That's where it started, man. It starts, you see that, guys? It started from one
He
shot.
wasn't always posting that spread he posted the other day, you know.
Right, exactly. He started off, you know, very small, and look at him now, man. He's hanging out with the big dogs, Gem Man, you know, all these Comic Time, and you know, he's just with the big.
I'll still dish out those X-Men 1 gym moves. Don't even worry about it.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. You know, so I'm definitely excited to have Theo here, because Theo is not only a somebody we know in the community, but I could definitely say he is a friend, you know, not only to me, but to the show. And so I definitely was excited to have him on here, have his opinion on it. I was trying to get more sellers on here, but unfortunately, due to scheduling, I wasn't able to get more guys in here. So I really want to get a lot of opinions on this. You know, it's just not about us on here. So let me drop this link in the chat real quick for you guys who have the balls to come on, you know what I mean, and speak your mind. You know, because I do notice people are a little finicky to come on here and you know, express themselves. So I just put it in the chat. And of course, you have a lot of people in this community that love to want to have these discussions, but then when it's down to it, they just shy away. You know, and I know a lot of YouTubers, I ain't gonna say no names, man.
Yeah, they just want to leave you voice messages. They don't
right,
really
you know what I'm saying? They don't really want to have this conversation. I've invited a lot of these guys and they don't want to come on the show. You know, they're like, yeah, hit me in the DMs. Yeah, all right. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. I already did, bro, like 30 times. Where you at?
Yeah, I'll get to that DM.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? You DM me, brother, I'm in there. I'm all in them DMs. You know, but yeah, let's get to this topic, man. I guess I'll pass it off to Rage. I know, Rage, being that you're a seller, you deal with a lot of this stuff. You know, what's your take as far as this whole last price sold? You know what I mean? Like that whole concept behind it. I mean, if you could even enlighten us on how this all became or where this comes from or stems from, that'll be great.
Yeah, so I think last price sold, I think it's a good and a bad thing, right? I think it's a good thing because you always got to know what a book goes for. And the only way to know that is by checking last price sold. I think the problem happens is that when people check out last price sold, they always want more than was the last price, right? I think that's like the general consensus that happens in the community. It's like, well, the last price was 20. How are you asking 30?
Right.
Right. I think that's like what a lot of sellers have to kind of remember is that not every book is like a 181 or like a giant size X-Men that like every time it sells, it's going to eclipse the next sale, right? As it should, because it's a grail type book, right? You know, scarcity versus rarity, all that jazz. But I think a lot of sellers often forget where they're in on a book for, right? So if you picked a book up for like $1 and it's worth 1,000, maybe you shouldn't ask for 1,100. Maybe you should ask for 900.
Right.
You know? Just kind of not forget where you come from, where the book comes from, and what you're in on the book for, right? If you bought the book top FMV and you got to get more than that, that's a different story. And I don't think you're buying correctly, in my opinion.
Right.
So that's where I think the discrepancy comes in.
Gotcha. Paul, what's your take on this?
I mean, so like basically Ray just said though, so even in some of your sales posts, right, y'all put the last sold, I believe, and then you have whatever your price is generally lower than that.
I mean, I won't put last sale price.
Right.
I
just
don't do that. I feel like I'll just put it a little bit below.
I've seen other people do that, but Rage don't do that.
But I feel like in sales posts, I see a lot of people will put last sold, and then they'll have whatever their asking price is. But like you were basically saying, it doesn't make sense if you're going to put the last sold, then your price is $100 more. It's like, well, what? But you know, the thing is, the market, especially this last couple of years, is so like explosive. Like prices are just kind of escalating out of control. It is, I guess, as a seller, to cover your own ass, you kind of have to, well, let me see what this book is selling for. But I am curious now that you've mentioned it and we're talking about it like that. You know, guys, a lot of collectors get upset if they go in a shop and the guy wants to look up the price of a book before he sells it. But basically, what's the difference?
See, I don't have a problem with that as long as the shop recognizes the fact that I'm here in person, that there are no fees, that potentially there will be no tax because I might be paying him in cash, and I might be a long-term customer, so there should be some type of a discount that occurs
A little wiggle room on that
to
type of
entice me to
price.
continue doing business with that person. I don't want to go to the store and see $100 book. It sells on eBay for 100. He's charging me 100. Like,
Right. Exactly.
what's the point of that? It's the same.
Right.
Same thing goes for like Instagram or even whatnot, right? The price that you're charging should be relative to the fees and to the app that you're using it on. So if you're selling something on Instagram and there's no fees, no tax, that should be lower than eBay. It shouldn't be higher.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking books that are several $1,000s. I mean, the tax alone could be a pretty.
That's what I'm saying. So I feel like that's really where the problem is. You're not on eBay, so you can't put the eBay price on Instagram. You know?
No. You know, and I think a perfect example of that book, like what right now, shout out to, you know, our boy, you know, what he just said, yesterday's price is not today's price. Well, to a sense, it does work, and in a sense, it doesn't. Like with me, let's look at perfect example, El Muerto. You know what I mean? That's a perfect fucking book right there. You know, where that book, I'll tell you right now, is not worth no $250 fucking dollars. Okay. Now, if somebody gonna say, "Oh, that's the price that is sold last," you're gonna be like, "Cool," but that's all based on movie FOMO. That's not based on actual value of the book. That is hype. That is all based on hype, because that book is not gonna be $250 a year from now. We all know it. That's gonna be a fucking $20, $30 book, if that. You know what I mean? A year after this fucking movie drop. You know what I mean? Because the book in its normal, you know, essence has no value. You know what I mean? That was $1 book a week ago. You know what I mean? A $5 book.
Still a $1 book.
It's still $1, right? And it's still $1 book. The movie did not change nothing about that shit. It did not do nothing, because that book in itself was nothing. The story mediocre, the character mediocre. It's nothing. It was a 2-book, 2-issue, nothing. You know what I mean?
But I'm sure if you looked on eBay, there are ones that have sold for that kind of money. So
no, they have. The highest price sold.
Who the fuck is buying that book for $200? I don't.
$250. That book just sold for yesterday. It was like one of the highest price sold.
That's ridiculous.
You know what I mean? And then the second appearance is like $27. So the first appearance is like $250. And once again, we're talking about a bullshit fucking character, a bullshit book.
But I feel like that's
nobody cared about. So here's my thing.
That's not
like, so then my argument would be, okay, let's say if I want to get that book, right? And I'm like, yeah, that's not a, you know, and somebody said, well, it sold last for $250. I'm like, yeah, but that $250 is all based on fucking propaganda, FOMO movie bullshit. It's not, doesn't dictate the actual book itself on what it stands on by itself. When you take that book by itself, it is $3.50. You know what I mean? There's nothing more than to that book outside of what was just announced. And because of the state that we're in, where it's about the flipping and the investments, that's why that book skyrocketed. Because people automatically are thinking, oh, I could flip this. I could make money off this. You know, I could
get it for the cheap.
I could get it for the cheap and sell it, you know, whatever. So that is all that's what's based about, you know, and that's why, to me, that's like a perfect example for today's topic, where I think that last price sold is just bullshit all around. You know what I mean? I understand. And of course, and I get it. And I agree with you with, if that book is $100, you should not charge me $100. If that book just sold for $100, you should not charge me $150. You know what I mean? Or even $100. You should go lower than that. You know, that's just like a guesstimation. Okay, this is what the book sold roughly for, but that eBay price does not dictate its value, you know, without the foot it stands on. You know what I mean? So that's my argument with it, where I've had somebody, you know, I'm like, hey, I want to, you know, look at this book, and they'll be like, oh, let's say it's an $80 book, right? Roughly $70 to $80. And they're like, well, it last sold for $350 on eBay. So, you know, give me $340 and we call it even. It's like, what? And then you go back to eBay and you're like, well, then what about this motherfucker? Somebody got it for $90. Somebody got it for fucking $75. Same condition. So what does that say then? So just because this book sold, some fucking dumbass motherfucker went and paid $3 fucking something for this, when if he just would have waited another day, somebody relisted a book, and now the same condition book is posted for $80. Like, so what did the fuck? So then if I buy this book for $80 and you go tomorrow and go look at it, you're gonna be like, last sold was $80. So now I'm gonna charge you $90. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's where that whole dilemma comes in. It's like, you cannot base it on fucking last sold because that is so finicky.
No, there's got to be a consistency and some type of
Well,
history.
then you're not. Then don't go off
Yeah.
eBay.
Yeah.
You cannot go off eBay. When the fuck did eBay become the fucking the standard? Is my thing. When eBay is the most ridiculous fucking place that anybody could try to value a book at. It's like, are you kidding me? You know what I mean? Because the eBay is just full of people who just are trying to get the money. They're not actually valuing these books. You know what I mean? Because when you look at a book where a guy is selling it for $1,500 and then the same book is going for $20 right underneath him, what does that say? What's
I always say that when I'm looking at a book and there's like multiple, you know, not 181, but whatever, just like a kind of key book. There's multiple sellers with the same book selling it, and they're all roughly the same. And then there's this one guy who's like fucking 8 times the price, and it's like, doesn't he see all these other ones that are like, you know, hundreds of dollars cheaper?
Right.
He's either not really wanting to sell the book, or he just is oblivious to fucking data and like information.
I think it goes back to what I was saying, where it depends on how much somebody's in on a book for.
Right.
That might be why you see somebody list a book for $20 cheaper than the last guy, because he's like, dude, I know I got this for $1. So this guy wants 80, I want 60. Fuck him.
Right. Or like I've done before in the past, like, you know me, I've screenshot fucking other people's prices and send it to the guy who's selling it for $1,000. And I'm like, yo, bro, this guy right here is selling it for $25, free shipping. You need to reevaluate your fucking post, man. Like, you need to reevaluate.
Did he reply to you like, "We'll buy it from him then," or whatever? Did he?
No, like, yeah, they'll say shit like that. They'll be like, "Oh, you don't have to buy it from me" and all that. But that's not the fucking point, man. Of course, I don't have to buy it from you. And
honestly, that's not the answer a seller should give to a customer.
No, it shouldn't. You know. And look at it right here.
I know, like,
Leroy. Most eBay sellers aren't really collectors. A lot of them aren't. They actually don't know a lot about these books. And you're right, because and because of that, I've gotten deals where, you know, a book, you're like, holy shit, this in the condition is in. This guy's getting rid of it for $10. Like, holy shit, this is like a fucking $60 book, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, hell yeah, I'm gonna snatch it. He don't know what the fuck he got. But then you got the guys that are like, oh well, this book has to be worth this much because of just the hype of how books are now. They generally gonna overprice these books. But that's my argument with this. Is like, we can't base stuff on last price sold, especially like something like El Muerto. You know what I mean? Where you know that fucking book is garbage. Like, you know, the only reason why the price
think Rage, but like Rage was saying earlier, though, you know, I think for like 90-something% of books, yes. But there are those exceptions, like 181 or Giant X-Men 1, where it's like, it's pretty much constantly escalating.
you see what's my bad. You see what's scheme.
Yeah, no, I see that. That is true. He probably said, "Hey, I listed it. Nobody bought it, but I tried."
That's gonna be me. I'll be like, babe, nobody wants to buy the book. You know, I put it out there. You know,
just some of the you know, the prices, the way people trying to sell the books is just. I guess they see it's always that one sale, right? It's like that outlier. So then they want to use that as like the high watermark, but.
Right.
Unless it is like a 181 or some book that's ultimately like, it's so liquid, you could just sell it. Like, there's no, I mean, there's a lot of them sold. So there is like a history of like an 80, 181 sells for this. Like, it's pretty much established probably. So you got to be within, you know, within range. But if you ask like 100 over and it was a sharp looking 80, you probably get it on 181. You're not getting it on this fucking lame Spidey guy. You know,
even 500 over, you'd
right. Get it. And that's another thing, that El Muerto book, there are no CGCs. Nobody has ever sent that book to get graded.
Oh, I love that. There'll be one graded for sale.
Now
census numbers. It's like, because nobody ever sent that dog shit book in.
That dog, right?
Only 98 on census.
Yeah, exactly. Only one graded. It's like, okay, then until next year there'll be fucking 300 of them.
Right, exactly. What's going on, Hazari? Yo, I'm telling you, and that's my thing. When I saw that I was like, yo, ain't nobody ever even fucking send this shit to get graded because there's no value to that fucking thing. They were like, even if it comes back a 9.8, this shit is still worth $10. Like, no, I'm gonna spend $40 to fucking slap this shit and lose $30 when I
You're
sell
not
it.
gonna get, won't even get your grading fees.
You wouldn't
back
even get your
for
grading
like a
money
year.
back, you know.
Well, I
And
mean,
that's
on a book like that, I mean, 9.8's like the standard grade, right? Anything below that, it's
I know. Why
probably
would
going
you?
to be
Yeah,
a
it's not
tank.
even like acceptable or anything other than
Yeah.
9.8, pretty much. So
exactly. Yes, Jason. What's up, brother? Straight dog shit.
homie.
Tells
Straight
how you
dog
really
shit.
feel. Yeah.
Appreciate you, Rudy, man. Thanks for listening and checking us out, man. We back at it, as you already know, man. Exactly. You know, it doesn't hurt to see what books are going for on eBay or any site. No, it does not. It really does, because I check it myself.
But a lot of people,
use
you
it
gotta
as
be
a piece
smart
of
when you-
information, not scripture. Exactly. It's not.
But you got to check the right numbers, though, because I myself got caught up in that. I'd see a book, I'd see what it's listed for on eBay and be like, wow, I didn't know that book was that kind of money. But then you check the sold listings and you're like, oh, okay, it's not really that kind of money.
It's like half the price that's listed.
Yeah, these guys are just crap and fucking.
What's going on, Fish Girl? We got him coming in.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? In a minute, man.
Yes, sir.
Salute, Paul. Salute, Morb.
You, man.
Salute, Theo.
What's going on, man?
Sir?
Oh, hold on. We got another brother. One of the horsemen's is in here. What's going on, Big Ski?
I'm not messing with Paul
anymore. Skeen. What's good, Skeen?
How are you, sir?
But Fish Girl, I know if you're on here, it's because you got something to talk about. Go ahead, man. The platform is yours. What you got to speak on?
Give me 1 second, because I'm getting an echo.
All right, no doubt, man. I got you.
What book's $25? What are these dudes talking about?
What book is 25? So what are you talking? That book is 25, Paul?
I'm lost.
Hold on a second. All right, get it, guys. I just put the link in the chat again for those who missed it. You got it right there. If y'all want to speak your mind, share your opinion, whether you agree with us or not, whatever it is, jump on board, because that's what it's about. That's what we do here. Fish, you ready, brother?
Oh, I got yourself.
Yeah, no, I'm just getting a crazy echo.
You want to hop out and come back in real quick?
Yeah, give me a second.
Yeah, do that. Scheme, my brother.
Yo, all right.
What's up? What's up?
What you got?
Yo, I agree 100% with what Rage is saying. You know, it's like what a person is in for. You know what I'm saying? How much did you actually pay for that book? And if you paid $1 for it, yeah, you just want to get your money back and then some. Cool. But when you start doing the overly, like, you know, I'm going to take it $300 higher than, you know, it's the price gouging thing. You know what I'm saying? And as like, I bought a record recently. It was a $300 record, right? I had to buy it from a European seller because every American seller had it for like $500, right?
Damn.
And I'm noticing the trend about when I buy from Europeans or the Japanese, the prices is like half of what Americans want, and it's coming back to American greed in a large way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no reason why I should spend $40 in shipping from Europe when I can spend.
That's the only thing that's killing me, man. The
Right,
UK books, they're fucking expensive to ship.
That shipping, bro, is a mother.
I was gonna ask you though if it was like if you notice this type of behavior in like the record, like kind of.
It's Americans, man. The two people that are like marking the prices up the highest are the British and Americans.
Mm-hmm.
And we're one of the same. The British and Americans, we're one of the same. We both speak
Facts.
Right.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? But like the Japanese, the Koreans, you know, the Dutch, the Germans, they're marking things as the price that it really is.
It's true.
And their quality is much better than what the Americans are selling it for a higher price.
Yeah.
So I just think it's like the American greed that's really starting to take over.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody, we're trying to get rich off of
facts.
So you're saying we need to go comic book hunting in another country?
Overseas,
we need to go, man.
We gotta go to Helsinki with Steve.
Germany and Helsinki.
Helsinki, bro.
Hell yeah, man. Let's do it.
We gotta do it, man. Hell yeah. Brother Fishkill, what's good? We good?
What up? I'm good. All
right, brother. Yo, go ahead, man. Speak your mind. Let us know what you're thinking, man.
All right, yeah. So we're having this conversation, right, with regards to last sold, right? Last price, right? And I guess our point of conversation was eBay. That's how we look at the market. We dictate the prices, and then everybody kind of goes there, and we determine whether or not we want to buy this book for the last sold price, right? But I don't know if you've been tapping into like Whatnot. I know Rage, you're on there heavy, But if you think eBay is crazy, shit, bro, the fucking Whatnot is 10 times crazier, because if any of you guys know, I'm not sure if you guys are up to speed with it, but it's a bidding system. You can also buy it now and do those things. All right. But sometimes you get into these goddamn bid wars. You got books that are freaking $50 that are going for $350 like crazy. Not too long ago, the Adam Eve Invincible trade, Tyler Kirkham trade, that shit was going for like $560, $600. The trade dress. You go on eBay now, it's $150. So the market always, it's like a roller coaster, homie. It's always going to make moves like that. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes, eBay ain't what you want to go to, and then sometimes it is. You feel me?
Right, exactly. That's why I was saying earlier, like, there are times, a lot of times I go on eBay and you're going to find a deal because the person either they're willing to give a good price for the book that they have, and they just like, hey, you know what? Like Ray said, hey, I paid $1 for this book, man. So I'm gonna put it up for 30. That's fair enough, and then you got everyone else putting it up for 150, doing some crazy shit. So yeah, there are times where you're gonna get a deal. And the thing about Whatnot, I know Rage, you're on there, and a lot of times Rage has said it. There's times, I know Rage, you can speak for yourself, that you've lost out because the bid didn't go as your expectation, and then there's times where it just skyrockets it because a lot of those biddings are based on the FOMO, and I gotta have this. I don't want you to have it. I gotta have it.
It's like 50-50. Most of the time, books go for like FMV, like usually right around FMV. But there are occasional times where like a book that shouldn't go for 60 goes for 60 because it's $10, or like a book that's worth 60 goes for $10. So you have that balance, right? Like, for example, I just sold ASM 365 last Wednesday, newsstand copy. I think I had it at a near mint minus, went for $10.
Wow.
Anybody who doesn't know, that's the first appearance of Spider-Man 2099 in a newsstand.
Yep. Yeah.
Meanwhile,
getting good money.
Meanwhile, I had a good copy of Marvel Premiere 13, Origin of Doctor Strange Retold. You have Doctor Strange Becoming the Sorcerer Supreme.
What up, Puff?
That sells for like $80. I'm like, guys, this should have been like the other way around.
Right.
Like, I don't get it. So people are going to do what they're going to do. You can't control it.
Yeah. Like it all goes back to your knowledge. It all goes back to what you know and how bad you want it. So if you don't know about a book and you want it really bad, you're going to fucking overspend, completely, like outrageously, But if you know your book and you still want it, you're going to bid to a certain point. You're going to be like, listen, I know this book is worth this much. I'll be willing to overpay an extra 30 maybe, because I really need this to complete this run and I just want it. I get that. You know what I mean? And then you have people who are just going to be like, no, I'm not fucking with this. You know what I mean? Like, I already know this book is a $50 book. Once it hits fucking 51, I'm done.
51, I'm out. Yeah,
I'm out. I'm not messing with this. I don't care. I'll wait, and that is, okay too. But, like you were saying,
that's called discipline.
Right. It is discipline.
Exactly.
And that's something that, it comes with experience. And even with experience, some of us still fall into our little, FOMO and like, I need this shit. It happens.
Well, what about the speckers? What about the speckers? I'm sorry, Scheme. Go ahead.
Hey, no, go ahead.
I was going to say, well, what about the speckers and the investors? Those guys that are looking at books like, okay, I can purchase it for the low now and flip it for the high.
I hope those kind of guys all overpay. I hope they get burned.
Right.
Hell yeah.
It's like people that's buying property right now. Like,
okay.
No offense to my New Yorkers. No offense, Morb. But like Philly is still affordable, and to the point where it's almost not affordable now for people who's trying to buy a home, because a lot of New Yorkers have realized they can buy houses in Philly and commute every day back and forth to work in New York.
Yeah, man.
So you've got guys in Philly coming down and spending $100,000 more than what the property's worth, right? And outbidding people that know the property's only worth $200,000, but they're putting $300,000 because $300,000 to them in New York gets you nothing.
No, right.
$200,000 in Philly gets you a whole lot.
Hell yeah.
That's right.
So people are just basically being like, you know what, I got money, and your dollar in one state is totally different than a dollar in someone else's state. So whoever's buying and spending a lot of money on books, maybe their dollar goes a long way in their little city versus, a New York dollar.
Right. Definitely, I agree.
So, I mean, I hate that. I mean, but it kind of is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is.
Well, I feel like that, like books, even up here in the Northeast, we see people on IG. There's people all over the country. Rage is on the West Coast, and they show books they find and stores they buy, and like the prices to me seem real low compared to anything I find around my way, like Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut.
Which is crazy. Everything in Philly area is cheap. I mean, Morb, you've seen the stuff on there.
Ridiculous. Dude, when you pulled out that Tomb of Dracula 10, and can I say the price? Can I say $400?
Right.
This was just a few months ago, guys. This wasn't like 2 years ago, and it was a clean book. I mean,
that shit's like $400 coverless up here.
Right, exactly. Up here, it's $400 coverless.
Dealers in Philly, especially my old guy, he realized he's been in the business for 40 years, whether on the distributor side or owning stores, right? He'll pick up a book and he knows instantly, this is a $40 book. Give me $30, it's yours, right? He doesn't do what was the last price it sold for? He knows this book is a $30 book.
He knows what he's in on it for, and he knows the number he's comfortable with walking away.
And his thing is, he's trying to move inventory. He's not trying to sit on wall pieces. He's moving inventory. A lot of the other guys that own shops go to him to buy his inventory because he's reasonable and they know they can mark it up.
Right.
And he's got basic.
That's sad.
It is, right? That's like how we used to do. You go to like people in Jersey, they used to be like, yo, Morb, you in New York? So why don't you get me like 20 dime bags?
Right.
You know what I mean? And then I come to Jersey, drop it off, and then they sell it for 30. So they're making $20 off a $10 bag. And they're selling it for 30.
You're snitching on yourself. Stop snitching.
You know what I mean? No, I know. We getting hood right now. But it's the same thing. It's the same thing. You know what I mean? Like,
for the backtrack about the store, like I won't shop at a comic shop or a record shop where there's no prices on things.
Right.
Like I won't do it because I've seen too many times where they don't even know what they have, and you pull out a gem and they're like, "Let me go look and see what it's." Just tell me what you want for it.
Right. Just let me know.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because I did the work for you. I pulled out a book that's a $500 book that you didn't even know you had. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I won't shop with people who don't price things. I'll look. Maybe I'll pull out a dollar book.
That's just laziness to not price it. Just to be honest, that's laziness.
However, on the flip, though, can you make the argument that if you sell for the last price and it picks up a trend, now the market turns around and it says, this is the standard for that price. Everybody starts getting involved. The community's happy. The book can only go up in value because now this is the floor. Is that, could we argue that? I mean, is that fair to say or
it depends, man.
I think it depends on what book it is.
What book it is, because like we were just saying El Muerto. Come on now. Like you already know that's not. We're not going to stay at 250.
It's not sustainable. Yeah, it's not.
We're not staying at 250 for that book.
Well, it's like,
how do you know that? How do you know that? How do you know that? How do you know Bad Bunny won't put on an Oscar performance? How do you know Bad Bunny won't put on an Oscar performance and that fucking book goes up to $1,000?
Because we've all seen Bad Bunny, so we already know that's not happening.
How I know that? I have a feeling because if you look at history and you look at market trends, every single project that Sony has come out with for probably about the past 2 years, every time that movie comes out afterward, whatever book was associated with that movie tanks. So that's why I think that book is not.
It's just by association, man.
Increase in money.
It's by association.
Because
whether
it's attached to Sony.
Right now, my thing is like he really got to sell the shit out this character, bro. A character, and this like people say, oh, what about Iron Man? You can't compare those two together, okay?
Come on now,
because
Iron Man, Marvel and Disney. Big boys.
You cannot fucking compare Iron Man, because I've had somebody tell me this in the conversation of El Muerto. They're like, oh yeah, but when Iron Man came out, nobody really gave a fuck about Iron Man. You can't say that because there's a lot of people in this community that were big Iron Man fans.
I was gonna say, but Iron Man
and Iron Man
40, 50 years of
exactly. He's a major staple and an iconic player in the Marvel universe, regardless of how famous he was or not. You know what I mean? You can't have the Avengers without Iron Man in the comic books, So these are things like that are iconic staples that you could kind of like bank on. You know what I mean? But when you pull out a character like El Muerto and then you put Bad Bunny, You know what I mean? A reggaeton artist to fucking play this guy that has no track record. You know, all he did was play what in the what movie was that? He played the fucking killer or that he got his ass beat. Oh man,
I just feel like the character is just not. Come on now, like Sony's just scrapping. I mean, nobody gonna give a fuck about a movie with this character. I mean, it's just basically like Rage said. Sony fucks up everything.
Iron Man was a B-list character. This is a Z-list character. Exactly.
I mean, they got like a great character like Morbius, and even that movie was fucking trash. So,
trash. You know what I mean? Like,
do nothing different for the book. That's my point. Can you apply that same concept to Morbius?
Yeah, I think
it did. You know what it did? It didn't do it after the movie came out. It did it during the trailer and the announcement of the movie. It brought the Morbius book up because believe me, I was keeping track on that book because I wanted to upgrade my copy. You know what I mean? And when
did it go down? It didn't go down since the movie was shit. You feel me? It's still the same. It's still the same price.
Well, you're once again. You're talking about Spider-Man 101.
Anyway. Yeah, it was.
You're talking about Amazing Spider-Man 101. You're talking about an iconic title, an iconic character, and Morbius is not some chump change. You know, Morbius is not El Muerto. You know what I mean? That he just had two comics,
even
issues, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like this dude had magazines. He was all over the place. You know,
think about that,
right?
And he's been rocking for what? How many years now? Like going on 40 years. You know what I mean? So you can't compare these people to something like the whole thing with that whole El Muerto shit. Like for me, it's just based just on the FOMO and the hype of wanting to flip. That is all because no one was out here, and I was waiting for it. Trust me, guys, I was gonna make a post and I didn't, but I was waiting for it, bro. Your ass would have got fucking blocked, bro. If you would have been on IG, like, oh my god, El Muerto, finally. They came out with my favorite character. You don't know how long. I got 10 copies of this, and you know, and I got it great. Like, shut the fuck up, you bullshit artist. Like, you did not give a fuck about this character, and I was waiting for it, and no one did it. Thank God, because your ass was gonna get blocked. But my thing with this is like, you know, but if somebody like, let's say the Morbius movie, right? Come on,
I'm waiting for Scheme to post his copy. I know he got one.
Oh yeah, he got that El Muerto. He got that shit. He just set that shit to get graded, bro. He's gonna be the first census on CGC to have a graded fucking El Muerto. You know,
worth money.
It's worth money now, right? It is, and in a year from now, that shit's gonna tank.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of these other fucking books that's happened with, you know. But it's once again, it's just the thing about this last sold price that. This right here is a perfect example. That's why I keep bringing it up. Because when now you go up to somebody and you go, let's say you find the book in the local comic shop, right? And you're like, oh shit, I want to get the book. You telling me that homeboy behind the counter is not going to be like, oh, hold on, let me see where that's at right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
one sold for $250.
Oh, $250. Give me $245 and it's yours. Yeah. And it's like, come on now. Like, you know, that's bullshit. You know, that's all based on fucking hype and the flip and the investment of it and trying to just get money out of this shit. Because nobody gave a fuck about it. This ain't a Hulk 181. This ain't like, you know, all these other characters and books that already stand on their own 2 feet. They don't need a movie. They don't need anything to move that book. That book moves itself. And that's where I would be like, oh, now, if you give me a last price on that, I'm going to be like, no doubt. Okay, let's work on that. You know, bring it down because that's eBay prices. So you're not going to give me eBay prices because everybody's trying to fucking gouge, you know, an eBay. So we're not doing that. But on a book like this, you're going to try to tell me last price sold? Nigga, we're fighting. We fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not happening, you know?
No, I feel you.
Anyway, I'm yapping. Go ahead, fellas. Jump in. Because I could keep going with this all fucking.
I mean, so I saw earlier, like Soul was saying, so to be like objective or whatever, basically,
yeah.
What is like a fair way to do it? Yeah, Peacemaker, that's just cold as ice.
Come on,
now. You know, what is like the right way to do it though? You know, if you don't want to burn yourself as a seller, I don't want to give this shit.
I mean, there, like he said, you know, you got to be realistic about it, man. Like,
Rage is back.
Rage is back. Hold on.
Yeah.
You hear Rage?
Yeah, you guys got me?
Yep.
Yeah, I hear you, but we don't see you, brother.
Oh, gosh. All right, I got kicked here. Let me leave and come back again.
All right, you got it. So, yeah, exactly.
I think you got to do like the average type thing, right? Not just the last sale. maybe last 5 or 10.
The last 5 sales or the last 10 sales. Look at them. You know, try to
for records on Discogs. It'll have the lowest, the highest, the lowest, the medium, and the highest. Right, and you could see the dates that everything was sold, and the condition of each book. You know what I'm saying? So I think I think comics needs the lowest, the medium, and the highest with the grading.
So can I piggyback off that scheme if I could? So for a lot of you guys out there that might be familiar with a lot of these different GPA apps, right? Like Cover, Cover Price, you know, and
Go Collect and stuff.
Go Collect, things like that.
Yeah.
What they do is they pull the data from several different locations, like eBay being one of them, other pricing and stuff like that, and then they come up with their average numbers. I mean, could that reflect on the best price? I mean, a lot of people do use that as the GPA to determine the last price sold.
Yeah, but you still have to have that middle, because the last price sold, there could be, I've seen lesser, like higher grading stuff sell for lesser than lower graded stuff. And you're like, okay, the last one was a VG minus that sold for this crazy price, and this one is a near mint, and this person has for less than half of that.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there needs to be some sort of honesty, which is a hard thing for people to do, is be honest. There needs to be some sort of honesty amongst sellers. But sellers are like, you know, car salesmen.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree totally with that. I think that it needs to come from like an average, you know what I mean? It just can't come from that last price sold, because like I said, it could be that dude that's just on extreme FOMO,
right?
You know, and he's willing, because he got some money in his pocket, you know, he got that income tax check, so he's like, you know what, I could afford to spring 500 on this book. And that's based not only on his lack of knowledge, it could be, or maybe he's knowledgeable and just doesn't give a fuck and wants to fucking shine and be like, yo, I got this book. You know what I mean? It could just be that, you know, but I cannot.
Maybe just throw out the top, throw out the bottom, and then just
and chick in the middle, because you're gonna charge me a price that was just a FOMO buy, you know what I mean, or a hype buy, you know, and to me that's where it's like, nah, man, I'm not gonna pay that price, because that's not what that book on standing alone on his own 2 feet, it would not go for that price. You know,
there's no right or wrong, because like a seller's going to sell for whatever they're going to sell for. A buyer's going to buy for whatever they want to buy for. I mean, I used to have this thing where it's like, I'm gonna out money you, outbid you, out phone call you to get what I want.
Right.
Right. And that was my thing. And I had no problem being like, okay, you know what? This record right here is a $200 record. I'm gonna put it up to $350, because I know there's only 5 of these in the world, and I need to have one of those.
Yep.
Right.
But then I realized everything comes back around again. I'm gonna see it eventually. There's 1,000 records out there. There's a 1,000 in my collection that I want. If I don't get this one today, I'm going to catch that one tomorrow.
That goes back to that discipline before.
Discipline, man.
Hard, man. It's hard, man. It's hard. You know, sometimes. We've all done that, right?
Everybody hell yeah. We all.
I'd rather have 5. I'd rather have 5 of something I want for $500 than to overpay $500 for that one thing.
One book.
I know that's going to come back around at $250.
Yep. And it happens all the time. You know, I think that one of the great things of having that discipline is that the satisfaction and the gratification that you didn't overpay for something, you know, that you really wanted, you waited, and then you ended up getting even a better deal just because you waited.
That Tomb of Dracula 10.
Right. It's like that was a fucking steal. You know what I mean? And it's like, because you waited and didn't jump the gun and get one for 1,000, you know, or 1,500, you was like, fuck it, I'm going to wait. Same thing with us. Like when me and Paul was at Little Giant, you know, a few weeks back, I found books that Paul even knows I was chasing for a while. And he was like, oh shit, like, yo, there goes the book you was looking for, like for a minute, for dirt cheap, mint condition. And it was like, yo, I'm glad I never pulled the trigger on this shit on eBay, bro. Or
you know why
wherever
that book? Because the key is always get the fuck out of your city, jump on a plane, and go dig in another city.
Go out there and fucking dig,
you know
man.
I found records, comics, toys in other cities that I'm like, shit, this is $100. I can't buy this for $100 in New York or Philly. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you got to jump on a plane, because some things that are regional are cheaper. You know, because like, you know, we've had like my old guy, he's had multiple fucking X-Men, fucking giant size X-Men 94. Like he's had multiple in the last year, and I'm like, where are all these popping up from? And he's had multiples. He's had the full like first 10 Iron Mans, the first Submariners, like, and I'm like, where are all these popping up from? And he's always like, it's $100 book, because he's trying to move it because he knows he's going to get more in. Every week he gets like collections. I'm like, where are you getting all these collections locally? I mean, the Mile High Comics guy from the dude from Mile High Comics, he comes to him to buy books, and dude's prices are outrageous.
Yeah, they are.
You got to give me your plug. You got to give me your plug, homie.
No,
I'm 20 minutes from Philly.
Dude, I've been trying to get this plug for like fucking 2 years, bro. Good luck.
And
I've hung out with him and gone digging with him, and I still can't get the fucking plug.
Bro.
Stingy. He's stingy.
We're renting an RV or something. We're going to Scoop Up Scheme.
Going outside of what we were saying, even going back to what Unruly Simeon just said, where he's like, "I'll gladly overpay for a book you really want."
Dude, I feel that same way though.
I agree. I have no qualms with that. You know what I mean? Because this is something that it brings joy and satisfaction to you, and it has nothing to do with you making money off this, you making a sale and flipping, and this is personal. You know what I mean? And that's what collecting is about. It's personal. You collect characters that you like.
Very
personal. You read books that you like. It's personal. But when you go outside of that personality and you go outside of that individuality and you start to now make it about others, you know what I mean? And that's where the FOMO kicks in. That's where you start to overpay for shit that you really don't fucking care about. You just want it.
There's books I see you post, PJ post, and I'm like, damn, that's a dope cover. But that's not my lane.
But that's not what you really write. Exactly.
That's not going to make me go on eBay and buy it that day.
Exactly. I salute that because I've done that so many times with everybody here, where you've posted a book and it's like, yo, that shit is fire. But that's not really, I don't collect that. So I'm not going to pick it up.
I respect it,
I respect it. It's dope.
Yeah, Ski will post those dope like DC war books.
Right, the war, but that's not my thing.
It's great stuff, but it's not like I wouldn't collect it.
Right, I'm not gonna go and pick it up now. Go run to eBay and fucking overpay for it.
That's what a lot of people do. A lot of
people,
Rage,
you feel the same? Does Theo Rage feel the same?
With regards to what?
You have a personal stake in your investment as far as the book is concerned.
I mean, I would say for every book that I have in my PC, I have an emotional attachment. Yeah, I mean, every single one. Like,
did you go above and beyond? Level. Did you go above and beyond to get any of them? Would you say you overpaid, so to speak?
Oh man, a couple of them.
Because you got some killers, and they probably went up a lot since then.
Yeah, I was gonna say a couple of them. I would say at the time I overpaid, but it turned out to work itself
in your
out.
favor, right?
But a lot of the other ones I traded to get, which is another great thing about this hobby is that you can trade.
But like,
get your books.
What really is like when we say overpay?
Rad was good.
Like,
I mean, Norin just said something real quick. Get scheme, and then we'll jump into what Norin just said.
We all overpay when it's something that we want. But there's a difference between overpaying and fucking overpaying.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Overpaying is like.
Opinion, I think overpaying happens when you're overpaying so high that if you really did the research or you waited, you could just buy a higher grade.
Right. Get a higher grade.
So like if you're paying like an abnormally amount for like a 9.0 181,
right,
and you're basically paying what like a 9.2 would go for, that's overpaying.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
If you're just 500 or 1,000 over, hey, you're paying to get your book. You know that book's
you're paying to get your book. You're goddamn right. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking 500 sounds like a lot of bread, but if it's like a 10K book, I mean,
exactly, really, 500 compared to a 10, it ain't shit. You know what I mean? So Norm Rad right here, he said, "Don't make sense to me that cover price is $3.99, but then 2 months later it's in the dollar bin. Shouldn't they hold cover at least? Look at the cost of just bags and board." What do you guys think on that?
I would say that just goes to supply and demand. I mean, if nobody wanted it for $3.99, I mean,
right. Now we go back to El Muerto. We go back to El Muerto, right? That book, what's the cover price on that book, right? Same shit, like $3.99, $4.99. Like, you know what I mean? And then that book you found in the dollar bin. Why? Because the book sold for $3.99, but it didn't hold its $3.99 cover price, distribution. Nobody was buying that book. So you could no longer try to make that $4.99 money off that book because nobody was willing to pay for that because nobody cared for that book. So you throw it in the dollar bin with all the other books that have that same lack of movement. There's nobody buying it. So you're sitting on a stack of these motherfuckers. So you're thinking, hey, I'll make money selling it for $1 quicker than I would trying to sell it for cover price.
Yep.
So that's why I see that at.
But that seems like that would be the kind of book, right? Like, so Scheme, like your spot, it seems like the guy's more old school. He's been around a long time.
Yeah,
he may have that book in his back issue bins for like $1 or $2, whatever.
Right.
So if some, guy who's up on the hot keys, hot books and shit happen to go in there and catch it for $2, then you say that's a win for him, right? Because now,
right,
he's obviously going to get much more for that book if he wants to flip it right now.
Exactly.
It's tough to flip if you're paying like the top price. It basically, like Rage said earlier, if you whatever you got into the book now, I mean, then you can't. Like if I buy a book for $5 and I want to flip it for $50, then I got a lot of room to work.
Right.
If I'm paying $200 for this book that just became hot 2 weeks ago, how do I flip it and make more money on it? That's kind of like the ceiling. I mean, that's
right.
Yeah. See, and especially with this guy. So this guy, basically all his bins are, he has the $2 bins, the $10 bins, and the $25 bins, right? And then everything else is priced accordingly on the wall. But everything is so, if you're pulling a $25 book, most likely each of them $25 books are $30, $35, $40 books. Because he's like, I've seen them, they've come and gone, I've got a million of them, right? So his $10 books, he'll do 3 for $25. Because he's moving. He's moving.
Right, he's moving. He's moving inventory.
His $10 books are $15 books and $20 books.
Right.
His thing is just like, I can't take these when I go.
He's just trying to keep it moving.
He's got overhead.
I've got a basement that I haven't been in 20 years with books.
Man, imagine what's in there, bro. You need to get in there.
Fishscale had a good question.
I'll be there this weekend, brother. I'll be there this weekend.
Well, he said 40 years, man. His mortgage is probably long since paid, maybe. So.
Yeah, and I mean, and his rent. I mean, he's like, I can sell 3 books, and there's my rent for the month. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, and I'm not even talking about 3 high-dollar books.
Sounds like Rage to me. I'm fucking whatnot. Fucking Rage. This motherfucker, he'll call me up and be like, "Yo, bro, I just moved fucking like 300 books in fucking 2 hours." Just be like, okay, mortgage is
150
paid.
books in 55 minutes. All right.
Look at that. 150 books in 55 minutes, bro.
Damn.
I was probably on that whatnot bin. I was probably on there spamming.
Bro, selfish plugging. I got a show tomorrow, 8:00 on the whatnot.
Yeah, man. Yeah. As a matter of fact, Rage, yeah, man. You got the floor because we got a few minutes left. So, Rage, you got the floor. I know you got a lot going on. Let the people know, man, what's coming down the line, man.
So IG Rage Theo, you can always follow me on there. Reach out to me. That's where you can DM me and I'll get to it. If you're interested in buying comics, though, I do Whatnot shows every Wednesday, 8:00 Pacific Standard. Sudden death auctions, giveaways, all that jazz.
Awesome, brother.
And
Yeah,
don't try to hit him up on the side for a book because you're gonna have to wait in line.
Yeah, you gotta hit him up directly, and you gotta be cool. Ain't none of that, ain't nobody skipping the line with Rage, man. You gotta show love, man. We got somebody right here
about Rage. Rage don't play favoritism. When you call him,
Yeah, I know, man.
No, he don't.
I thought he
Believe me,
up, but he was
tried.
Catch the show.
He got his bread.
Rage is about that paper. He ain't trying to fuck with. He's like, you my
back
boy
to
and all, but you know what I'm saying. You got to tune into Whatnot.
Yeah,
I
love you.
The show,
but come to the show.
Come to the show, and I got you. I'll let you get first dibs. How about that?
What about if me, Paul, and Morb show up at your crib with a duffel bag full of money?
Well, then that's a conversation offline.
My man. Exactly.
That's how that's gonna roll.
Exactly.
I was gonna ask earlier, Fishscale. He was basically kind of bringing up like, then how do you price books? He was kind of asking without that. So I figure, well, this side we got the man right here who sells plenty of books. How do you price your books, Rage? Do you use?
So for Whatnot, it's all a dollar auction.
Okay.
So I never have to price books, and the only reason that I can stomach doing that and not have a freaking heart attack every week is because I'm hunting those books. I'm getting a good deal on them. So starting a book that maybe I got for $15, I know it's worth $100. I don't mind starting it at $1, right? We could play around and have fun. Other books though, that may be a little bit more riskier to put on a whatnot. So maybe like a New Mutants 98 or something, right? That's a book I would definitely take a look on eBay. I know that that's a Vivid book that sells on there all the time. There's going to be fresh sales data. That's a book that I'll look at sales data. I'll say, okay, 300 on eBay. This is Instagram. I got it for a pretty good deal. 250 sounds nice in my head. Just to be like comfortable, right? If it's slabbed, definitely got to use GPA. I like to compare that with eBay. I don't really like Go Collect and Cover Price and some of those other apps. I feel like those are good if you're a buyer. Those are good if you're a buyer, right? You're a buyer and you can get a seller to go buy Key Collector. That's probably your best.
Yeah, Key Collector.
Why you figuring their prices are lower? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, Key Collector is lower, man. Based on what I've seen, Key Collector is way lower than a lot of.
That's a great app to use if you're a buyer.
Yeah,
if you're a seller,
definitely
though,
lower.
You want to use.
Well, them prices do seem out of whack, though.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's
like
a little
cover price.
Rage. How many has come at you with the key app, son? How many?
Just a couple. Not a lot. Just a couple.
Hit you with the key app, son. Yeah. But yeah, definitely.
But if you're a seller, you want to check. I know we were just talking about it, but you do want to check out eBay. They're the most consistent. They get the most eyeballs. They have the most books listed on their website. Usually, if there's a book slabbed, you're going to find it on there. I mean, technically, eBay is the way. But, always remember where you're selling a book. If you're not selling it on eBay, that shouldn't be an eBay price, right? So remember that.
There you go. Definitely, man. That's what's up, man. Fish Scale, before we get out of here, you got anything you want to drop? Any jewels you want to give them?
No, I mean, I'm on Instagram, Fishscale Comics, Fishscale_comics. Feel free to check me out. I post up a lot of different books there, mostly modern. If you're interested, hit me up behind the scenes. I enjoy the conversations. Thank you, Morbius, for having me on here, man. Salutes everybody. Salute Scheme. Salute Paul. Of course, salute Rage. But yeah, if you guys are interested, hit me up behind the scenes. I'm trying to get my numbers up. If I get my numbers up, I might go over there on Whatnot like Rage does. We'll see how it does.
There you go. There you go.
You tag me. You already know I got you.
Thank you.
Scheme, my brother, Mr. International. Bro, what you got coming, brother? I know you got stuff lined up for like the next 3 years.
I got a two-piece to you and Paul because y'all didn't invite me out to the joint a couple weeks ago. So yeah,
you wasn't in town, bro. You wasn't even in town. You was like in fucking California or some shit, man.
In Seattle, spinning.
That's all I got going on. I'm upset with you.
Oh, this man was in California. He didn't hit me up.
Spinning at Texas, BFG, spinning at Texas. I know where you were.
You know what I'm saying? This is a traveling man right here, and y'all already know. Of course, y'all already know who we are. We got Rage here. We got Fish Scale. We got Scheme. We got the homie Paul. And if you guys ain't following these guys, man, grab the newest comic book.
We got a slab to crack
30 times, bro. Yeah, we're gonna be cracking slabs soon. I know me and Paul got some stuff coming down the pipeline. We're gonna be slacking. I know we haven't cracked anything lately because we just been busy hunting.
This is the first affordable slab I've been able to pick up in a while, man, where the price wasn't crazy. So.
You know what I mean? I got some slabs coming that I'm gonna crack. I got them. Hold on, we're coming. You know what I mean? We just been, trying to pay these bills and feed these kids. We got to handle our business first before we get crazy with these books. You know what I mean? The last thing I need is wifey. You know what I'm saying? Having that conversation. We ain't having that conversation. Yo, shout out to Big Wiz, DJ Wiz. What's going on, my brother? Always a pleasure having you on here. But yeah, man. I think that at the end of the day, you have your pros and you have your cons when it comes to this last price, depending on your position in this community, whether you're a seller, whether you're a collector, whether you're a buyer, whatever it is. I think that there's many ways to go about it. And I'm grateful that everybody had a different perspective to it so that those who are watching this could get something out of it, whether you're agreeing or not agreeing or somewhat agreeing with us, or maybe you have your own opinion. And next time we talk about it, come on here and let us know, and I think that it's just important that we have these discussions because at the end of the day, we're spending money, man. We're coming out our pockets. and we want to make sure that our money is stretching. You know what I mean? We don't want to cut ourselves short based on something that someone else is imposing on us. You know, and I think that that's something that we always got to keep in the back of our mind when we go hunting for these books. And I think something Scheme said that is very important, that I think that a lot of people tend to get lazy sometimes. You know, we need to get out there and hunt, man. That's where you're going to find the deals. You know, if you're not happy with that last price sold, man, get out there and hunt, because I guarantee you're going to find what you're looking for the price range that you wanted in, you know, and just like I said, just
one more thing to add too.
Say again, brother.
One more thing to add before.
Yeah, man, go ahead, brother.
So recently, about a week ago, I actually did have a buyer reach out to me, and he had thanked me. And I was like, "Oh, did you buy a book recently, or were you listening to a podcast?" And I said something. He was like, "No, I just wanted to thank you for hunting comic books." I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You don't understand, man. Not everybody can go out and do that. Get them, know what they're looking for, get that deal, bag and board it, present it, sell it, ship it, right?" I'm like, "Hey, you know, I never even thought about it that way. Thank you for saying that." So the only reason I say this is for any seller watching this. Remember, we're kind of providing a service, and you should never forget about how much you're not a book for.
Exactly. And you're not kind of providing, you are providing a service. And that's
you
one
are
of the reasons why you are. And that's one of the reasons why I respect Rage a lot. And that's one of the reasons why I consider him an actual friend. You know, because since day one, he's been a genuine guy. And what actually impressed me is your hunting. You know what I mean? The fact that you're out there on a regular basis and you're coming home with like fucking 2-3 short boxes.
I got a haul. I'm gonna post up later. You already know.
I'm pretty sure you do, man. I am fucking pretty sure you do. You know, and that is something that, as a collector, you know, you cherish that. You know, you cherish the hunt. You know, and to see a seller that's so dedicated to not only hunting and finding great deals, but providing great deals. You know, to your customer and great service. You know what I mean? The same day you're selling them, you're bagging them. The next day they're going out being shipped. 2 days later, these people got their books. You know what I mean? Like, that's amazing.
That's quality. You know? That's quality right there.
Right. That's quality. And you can't deny that. You know what I mean? The dedication and the work and just the work ethic, you know, behind it.
Finding books like that on a regular basis.
On a regular basis, bro. Like every week. That's work, man. That's work, man. So salute to you,
bro.
Rage.
You guys don't even know.
Dude, I don't even want to know. You're making me tired every time I see you post it.
It's a grind. It's 100% worth it, though. Love it.
Hell yeah, man. Definitely, brother. And I appreciate you. I appreciate what you're doing for this community, because to you, a lot of people are completing their runs. They're getting the books they want at a great deal. Unfortunately, on Whatnot, we've already had the conversation. Some people, you know, they're willing to pay whatever the fuck, and they'll.
Don't worry, guys. I got IG Live coming down the pipeline.
whoa, IG Live here. Hold up.
Coming back to my roots.
There you go. But yeah, once again, guys, I appreciate you guys, Paul, Scheme, Fishkill, Theo, everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to everybody catching the replay. Appreciate you too. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe for more great content coming your way. And you know what, man? I think it's a wrap, fellas. We done for the night. And I see y'all next week.
Peace, fellas.